What is up?
Alistair reviews it.
It's not Alistair reviews it. What is up, y'all? Thank you so much for checking in with AZB today.
And W.
And W. To kick off Pride Month, I figure all my videos during Pride Month are going to be movie, TV related. So to kick off Pride Month, I put a poll up on Twitter and on Instagram, and you guys voted, and you wanted to see, the majority of you wanted to see, why Tom Hardy and Chris Pine are actually lovers in the romantic comedy This Means War. This Means War is a 2012 romantic comedy. While it wasn't critically revered, the film benefited from a lead cast of 3 immensely talented actors. There's Chris Pine as the womanizer FDR. There's the amazing Tom Hardy as single dad Tuck. And Reese Witherspoon as the business executive Lauren. Now I'm going to give you all sort of quick rundown of the film before we start getting into this theory. Just so you know, there's spoilers from here on out. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, this is your time to bail out. Go check it out. Come back to this video. Tuck and FDR are CIA agents. They each meet Lauren and each develop feelings for her. They learn they're both into the same girl and make an agreement to each date her until she chooses one of them. Agreement turns into competition, spy versus spy style. They sabotage each other's attempts at winning Lauren's affections. Tuck and FDR begin feuding over Lauren, and Lauren, who's been fine double dipping and dating both of them up until now, learns that Tuck and FDR are actually friends, and storms off. She and Chelsea Handler are kidnapped. Tuck and FDR team up to save them. Well, Lauren mostly. And ultimately, Lauren chooses FDR, because clearly, she's crazy. Tuck ends up with his ex-wife, and all live happily ever after. Alright.
What?
There's not much else to the movie.
Or is there?
Or is there? So you could just take what's given at surface level and say that Tuck and FDR are just best friends who just happen to share a really close bond.
Too close.
Or you could dig a little bit deeper into this silly little romantic comedy and maybe, just maybe, you'll see that Tuck and FDR really have eyes for each other and not for Lauren. Their bond. The two have a very close relationship. Now, this isn't unusual for a couple of buddies who've known each other almost their whole lives, but I'm using it to build my case anyway. FDR lost his parents at an early age and was raised by wealthy grandparents. Tuck, however, had no family. Sometime after he and FDR became friends, Tuck found a sort of surrogate family in FDR's. He even refers to his son as a grandchild for FDR's grandmother. Aside from individual scenes with Lauren, the two aren't seen apart much. They have no real friends and spend a majority of their time together. It's clear they really have no lives outside of one another. Commitment to each other. Lots of men have commitment issues. Tuck and FDR are no different. FDR is the classic womanizer. He loves one-night stands but hasn't tried committing to any one woman besides Lauren. And it's interesting to note that the only woman he claims to be serious about is also attached to his best friend, Tuck. Now, Tuck did get married and they had a son, but the marriage didn't last. So it seems the only stable commitment the two have is with each other. Jealousy. Tuck and FDR agree to both date Lauren until she falls for one of them. However, things quickly get nasty as both sabotage the other's dates. Could just be a dick measuring contest, or it could be that Tuck and FDR are feeling jealous, seeing the other lend his affections to someone else. When Tuck and Lauren are on their dates, FDR is always watching through secret spy surveillance, and vice versa. As they watch each other get closer to Lauren, the two become continually aggravated and unsettled. Both men take the most action when it comes to keeping each other from sleeping with Lauren. And when they do, or at least when they think the other has, the platonic bickering turns into a serious feud. It's almost like they've betrayed each other, and that's almost too much to handle. So they call an end to their long-term friendship. Ending. At the climax of the film, a car is barreling towards Lauren as she stands on the edge of a bridge. Tuck and FDR stand at either side of the road, calling her name to come to their side. The smoke clears, dust settles, and it's revealed Lauren has jumped to FDR's side, ultimately choosing him. A not so interesting end, right? Except there are 2 alternate endings. One ending shows Lauren winding up with Tuck, and FDR going back to his womanizing ways. The third ending is what concerns us though, and what I'm using as my biggest argument. The car's barreling towards them, smoke clears, dust settles, and Lauren ends up with no one. Instead, FDR has rescued Tuck, and they are embraced as Lauren looks on. Okay, so that's it though. That's it. That is the proof that I need to make my whole case. I feel like the filmmakers, by shooting that specific ending, were acknowledging that there is chemistry between Tuck and FDR, and they're saying, hey, you know, the couple of audience members that are going to be seeing these, you know, the flirtation, the banter, the jealousy between these characters.
We're going to be seeing the connection.
Yeah, it's accurate. You know, they do flirt. They have banter. They've even seen each other's dicks. You know, that's not.
Well, a lot of straight people see.
A lot of straight dudes have seen each other's dicks.
But no, I want to talk about that one scene that I remember where they're talking and Tuck is like,
I trust you. I know you do anything for me. I do anything for you. I know that you would take a bullet for me. I would for you as well. And you know that, right? Can you imagine all of that? Yes. Can you imagine what that would be like to share with a woman? No. Okay.
They're talking about how really they're the ideal people for each other.
Exactly. They are acknowledging their love for each other, and they say, "Well, I wish you were a woman." I feel like love can transcend
gender
and sexuality.
Well,
I think, you know, a straight guy could fall in love with another guy and realize, well, I don't think I'm straight anymore. Maybe they were bisexual. Who knows?
And maybe Reese Witherspoon was just a love.
She was, I don't know. I think I see Reese Witherspoon's character in this movie as sort of being the driving force behind them realizing that they're
meant for each other.
Ultimately, this means war. It ends in the typical hetero romantic comedy fashion. I felt like that was more of a cop out. Either on the director's side or the other filmmaker's side or the studio side. Maybe the studio didn't want, you know, a gay ending or a gay.
Well, they obviously did not want a gay ending. It made sense for them
this back in
at the time to choose something like that.
But I don't know. I at least like that this alternate ending. It exists. Yeah. I like that it exists. To me, the film was a love story between Tuck and FDR, and it was sort of them discovering their love. No, not even a bromance. I felt like it was an actual legit love story.
Oh, bromances are love stories.
They were discovering their love for each other.
The writers definitely had an undertone.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they had eyes for each other, or do you think that we're just overthinking it? We could just be overthinking it.
We're probably.
I'm being hopeful.
I don't think we're overthinking it. I honestly don't.
Probably.
I don't think we are.
Anyway, so for the rest of Pride Month, I'm gonna be putting out a couple other videos, like a couple lists, like top gay actors, top gay characters in movies, top LGBT characters across TV. Be sure to check those out. Alistair's gonna have videos on his channel coming up. Alistair reviews it.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. He's been MIA for a while, so give him shit about it, not me.
I've been gone. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
We gotta throw something.
I don't throw things.